Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a very cool one for you today. We got a little page here. When we scroll down the page, not much is going to happen, just a regular page. But if I exit or go to exit, it's going to pop up and say don't go, take 25% off, and a little link to the shopping page, which is a great little feature to keep people interested in your site. Really easy to do. We're actually using the Divi Supreme Pro plugin to do this today, which is one of my absolute favorite Divi plugins because of the pop-up feature alone. So let's get started. I'll show you exactly how to do this really easy. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Okay, once enabled, let's go down where we want to work. The first thing we actually want to do is build our little pop-up, the thing that we want to pop up. So let's add a new little module. Doesn't really matter where. I'll just add it underneath this one here. I'm going to use a call to action for mine. That way we can put a button with a link to where we want to take our visitors. There it is right there. And we'll say don't leave now. And we'll say 25% off or something like that. Whatever it is you need to say to your people. That's great. Put what your button to say right there. You may have noticed there's not a button in there. That won't actually appear till we put a link in. I'll do that in a second. Put whatever content you want in there. I'm going to leave mine just like that as I've got no real content. Now here's the link. And you'll notice if I put something in the button link URL here, the button will show up. So obviously put the link where you want to take your people to perhaps your sales page or wherever it is. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab so your site stays open. And you can link the whole module if you want to, not just the button. You can have same or separate links there. Well, let's change that click here on the button to say shop now or something like that. So that's back up in the text, it's still under content. That's always where you'll find text and background and things like that. Let's say shop now. That's fine. As you can see, that's changed that on the button there. Okay, well, let's make that background a little more interesting. So still on the content tab, we've done the link. I'm going to go down to background. I'm going to make that background color blue, I think. I'm going to merge it with an image. Let's throw an image in the background there. So go over to image. We've got color gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask there. I'm on the background image highlighted there. Let's grab an image. Let's grab something interesting looking. That'll do fine. As you can see, it's in the background of our little module there, which is great. But I'm going to merge it with the color so that that writing stands out a lot better. Remember, we put a blue in the color. Still on the image, if we roll down a little bit here, we got background image blend. I'm going to change that from normal to multiply. Now it's multiplied it with that blue and that text stands out a lot better, but you can still see that image behind there. If you want more of the image, you can go back to your background color right there. Just click on the color field and bring this variegated slider, the opacity, down until you can see as much or as little of the image as you want. I'm pretty happy with it being up the top there though. That's fine for me. Now when we make this into a pop-up, it's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be about 500 or 600 pixels wide, and I'll show you why that is in a moment. So that should look good now. Once you're happy with it, you put your links in and everything. What we need to do is save this to our library. So save the changes. I'm going to click on the module. A little round icon just to the left of the trash can there to save it to the library. We'll give it a name. We'll say don't go. Whatever you want to call yours, obviously, and I'm going to save it to the library. Great. Well, once that's in our library, we can delete it from our page because we don't want it sitting in the page at all times. We just want it to happen when they go up to exit out of the site. Now, this is one of the most awesome features of Divi Supreme. Go down to our dashboard now. This is really important. Go to the dashboard, make sure you've got Divi Supreme Pro installed and activated. Click on it. It's going to take us to this page. Under the General Settings tab, you want to make sure that you've got Enable Divi Popup set to on. So it's on the right hand side here, purple. If it's not, switch it to on. Make sure you hit the little green Save Changes button. If you don't do this step, this is not going to work today. Okay, once you've got that set to on, our next step is all ready. So let's go back to our page here. Because we've just saved this to the library, I'm going to save it and just refresh this page, or else that's not going to turn up in our library. So I'm going to hit the little save button down here. And once saved, we can refresh the page. Okay, once it's reloaded, we can go down. We can use any module you like to trigger this. Now we can use images or blurbs. These right here. If you want it to be on any page, or every page I should say, you can go down to your footer and just use an element of your footer to do it. In fact, let's do this today so it'll be on any page when they try to exit. So I'm going to edit the footer template. I'm going to add just another little module right here. Let's just make it a copyright thing. So let's put a text module in there. All those blue modules are the ones you get with Supreme modules when you add it. There's plenty there. Let's just add a text module. And like I say, you can use any module on your page here if you just want it to work on this page. I'm doing it down here because I want it to work on every single page. And of course our footer's on every single page. So let's do a copyright. I'm going to use an Alt code for that. Hold down the Alt key and hit 0169. And we got the copyright symbol. And there it is right there. Let's make it light in color. Hit the little paintbrush, it'll take us straight to the text. Let's make it white in color. I want to put it in the center of our little module there. I want to add a little bit of padding to the top so it sits in the middle of our bar there. So still in design, we can go down to spacing. Let's try 20. It's almost there. I'm going to use a little arrow, get it where I want it. 24. 25, let's round it up. That'll do. Great. Okay, well now we've got a module here. Let's use it as a trigger. And like I say, you don't have to put it in your footer. I'm only doing this so it pops up on every page, but you can use any module for this. So go to the module you want to use to activate this feature. Click on it. Go into the module itself. If we go over to our advanced now, and down to visibility, you'll see a little switch that says use pop-up. Now that's not going to be there if you've forgotten to activate it, enable Divi Popup, or that you haven't got Supreme Pro installed and activated. So I'm going to flip the use pop-up switch to yes. What do I want it to pop up? Well, I wanted to pop up that layout that we just saved to our library, which was called Don't Go or something like that. So we'll say layout, we'll choose it from the library, and it should be on the bottom. Latest ones are always on the bottom. I've got a lot of pop-ups going on there. Don't Go, that was what it was called. There it is. Now, where do we want to trigger it on? We want to trigger it when they try and leave the page. So that's Exit Intent. I'm going to click on Trigger On. I'm going to go down. You'll find right at the bottom, Exit Intent. There's some great ones here. You can trigger on scroll, page load, CSS class, CSS ID, hyperlink, image, button, module. And we've covered most of these. Check out our Divi Supreme playlist if you want to learn more. But we want Exit Intent today, which means when they go up to the top of the browser, it's going to pop up. Anywhere that they click outside the pop-up will close it. That works for me. Don't want auto close. You can have a timed auto close if you want to by putting a time in there. I'm going to leave mine as it is. Cookie expiry, that's pretty important with this one. That's the number of days you don't want it to return to. For some pop-ups, you don't want it popping up every page that they go to. But this one, we want to actually work on every page. So I'm going to leave it on 0, which means every time they go to this site, it's going to trigger on exit. If you want to delay it for 2 days, it'll happen today, it won't happen tomorrow. Next day they come back, it'll happen again. But I want mine on 0 because I want this to happen every time they visit. Entrance and exit animations, they've got plenty to choose from here. I'm going to leave mine on the default, but there's a lot you can choose from there. Pop-up position, center. Want it to be absolute so it doesn't move when they try and scroll down the site. I don't want it to be full width. This is what I was saying earlier. I'm saying pop-up max width is 680. This tends to work for me on most devices. If you want to change it on various devices, just hover up over the dark writing until the icons appear. There's a little phone icon. You can have different values for tablet and phone if you want to. Like I say, with me, the default seems to work fine. Show overlay, that means it'll black out the background a little bit. And you can choose your colors here. Again, the default's fine for me. Show a close button, that's fine. Button placement inside. The icon that it uses by default is an X, which is pretty standard. You can choose a different one if you want to, but I'm going to leave mine on that. You've got button background color and close button icon color. I'm going to leave mine all on the default. So if you've done everything correctly now, this should now work. And it should now work on every page. So let's save our changes. Let's hit the little purple button. Save the page. And exit the visual builder. And here we are on the regular page. I can scroll down, I can read the content, I can click on stuff. But if I go up the top, it's going to pop up our little notification there, which is exactly what we want. Don't leave now, 25% off. And like I say, this should work on any page. If I click anywhere outside it, it'll disappear. Let's try a different page. Here we are on a different page, and again you can scroll down, you can do what you want. If I go up the top to leave, it's going to pop up that little don't leave now. And it looks like I've got a little delay on there. I think I might just adjust that. And because it's in our footer, I can do that on any page by enabling the visual builder. And once enabled, we can roll down to the bottom to the footer, and let's just check the settings on that. Click on our little copyright where we used as a trigger. We'll go in there. Let's look at our settings. Over to advanced visibility. If we roll down, there's our pop-up. If we roll down a little bit more here, exit intent. Time delay, we've got a second. I don't want any delay at all. I want it as soon as their mouse goes up there. Otherwise they might be out of the page before they see it. So let's change that to 0 seconds. We'll save this and we'll try that again. And exit the visual builder. Okay, scroll down, look at the site. Great, very good. Now let's try and exit now. And it's going straight away, which is exactly what we want there. Now it won't happen again if I go up there, but if I was to refresh this page, like it's a new visit, and then go up there again, it'll pop up once more as we got that cookie set to 0. Great! So there you go, guys. There's how to create a notification on exit for your Divi theme using the great Divi Supreme Modules plugin. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video like this one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.